Hi, my name is Tali Borman, and welcome to my YouTube channel called Developing Immigrants in Sonoma County. This week, we're going to start diving into some discussions or sharing information on employment opportunities here in Sonoma County. And for the first employment opportunity, I decided to share a little bit about information on the home care industry. If you've been following my YouTube channel from the start, you probably already know that this is an industry that I've been a part of since I moved here 11 years ago. I came and I was employed as a caregiver or a home care aide, and I now work and manage a home care and healthcare staffing agency here in Sonoma County. So we're going to be talking about what is home care, what the pay is like, and why it would be a good opportunity or a good industry to consider work in when you first arrive here, and just how it is able to meet your needs as you're first getting settled here, or even if you've been here a while and you've tried out other industries, and why home care would be good for you. What is home care? Home care is when an individual is needing one-on-one care in the home, meaning one person to be taking care of another person, or one person. That is why we call it one-to-one care. That is what home care is. What is a home care aide, and what does that role look like? So a home care aide is an individual or a candidate that you place into a client's home. This individual will be the person that will be providing the care to the client. What does that role look like? What does a home care aide do? A home care aide can do anywhere from personal care to light housekeeping to medication reminders. They can provide non-medical care, so it's care, but it is non-medical. What do you need to do in order to start working as a home care aide for a licensed agency as soon as possible, or as soon as you arrive? I would say to refer to my last video, last week, talking about the things to get in place when you first get here, because one of the major steps that you'll need in order to become a home care aide as soon as possible is to register with the state to become a caregiver. And this is a process. You will need your social security number, you will need your green card, or if you don't have your green card yet, you will need like a state ID to go with that. So I would suggest watching my last video on on the things that you need to get in place, because these things are things that you'll need in order to register with the state as a caregiver. And this is so that you are able to work for a licensed agency. As soon as you arrive here and you start applying for work in home care agencies, if you pass the interview process and you start the onboarding process with any home care agency, they are able to give you instructions on how to go about this process. And it's a process where you have to go online to register yourself, and then there's also fingerprinting that's involved here. So I would suggest to go through this route, apply with a licensed agency. They will tell you where to go and what to do in order to be registered with the state as a caregiver. Once you're registered with the state as a caregiver, this is valid for 2 years, and you get a per ID number. That number, you're able to apply and or work for more than one home care agency. And I always say that this is okay. You can work for more than one agency because you're trying to, if you're trying to fill up your days or fill up your time, and this is okay. But one thing I always suggest is to always be open about your availability, or communicate openly and be transparent with the home care agency that you're working for, so that they're able to give you work on the days that you say you're available, and that they're able to rely on you as well. What does the pay rate look like right now in the home care industry? Right now, I would say that the pay rate is currently ranging anywhere from 20 to 35 an hour in the industry, and this is good. As I've said in my last video, right now the minimum wage in Sonoma County is $17.06. So a lot of the positions in the home care industry are higher than this, which is a good thing. What I'm also seeing is, for example, with licensed home care agencies, shifts that are currently in demand right now are the longer shifts, and this is because of overtime. If you work for a licensed home care agency, then you are to be getting overtime after 9 hours. I see that a lot of candidates or even immigrants like to pick up these types of shifts, like 12-hour shifts or 24-hour shifts, because they pay well. For example, right now you're looking at least a minimum of $537 a day for a 24-hour shift, and about half of that or a little more for a 12-hour shift. This is usually the type of shifts that are in demand. And in the home care industry, you are actually able to work a 24-hour shift if your client is able to sleep, and you're able to get some sleep too, but also to still be available. I would say these are, if just looking back to when I first moved here and what the type of work that I looked for in order to be able to maximize on my income and my time, these were the types of shifts that I looked for, because they paid really well and I could work 4 days and earn a lot of income. So and why I say 4 days is because that is the rule when you work for a licensed home care agency, is that you work 4 24s in the week, and that's really the maximum that you can work without going into overtime. So a lot of candidates, when they come, they like to work these 24-hour shifts. 4 in a week can easily get you a gross income of slightly over $2,000. That comes to about $8,000 a month. And this is really helpful for a family who is here or has come here and is looking to find a place, purchase a car. I've seen that these types of shifts has really been beneficial for families. And then also, say if there were a couple where I've actually experienced this and seen this too, where a couple would both join the home care industry. One would be working 24s, and then the other would be working maybe a smaller or shorter shifts, so that they're available and be the ones to take care of the family while the other one is away. Home care is really flexible. Home care is really flexible in the sense that it's a per diem industry, or it's an as needed industry. So, as long as you're communicating openly and you're being upfront about your situation and your schedule, the type of experience that you have, you should be able to find something that is the right fit for you and your family. In Sonoma County, there are there's a lot of home care agencies out there, and I would say in Marin County as well, which is a neighboring county that has a lot of work opportunity. I know that we have a lot of people here in Sonoma County that travel there for work, because there's a lot of work there too. Sometimes there's a low season where there isn't as much work, and then there are times where it gets really busy where there's a lot of work. So I always suggest that when you find work, make sure to do a good job, so that you can keep your job, and not only that, so that you're able to save for rainy days, for when there isn't work or there isn't clients needing help. That is what the pay rate is looking like in the home care industry. And I always share with people that It's an industry that I've seen, that I've experienced myself, to be able to make ends meet and more while in the process of trying to get established here. So, I always recommend it to whoever I meet in the community, is to try it out. It is, like I said, it's an industry where you're able to find employment that is able to meet your needs and a little more. And as you first arrive here, that is what you need. You need something to be able to make ends meet and a little more. Suggestions on how to maximize your time and income in the home care industry. So as I said, there are multiple home care agencies, and sometimes it can be slow, sometimes it can be really busy. When I say slow, I mean there's probably not that many shifts, and when I say busy, there's probably so many shifts. So I always suggest to people, if when you get registered with the state, research home care agencies that are licensed and apply there, try to get shifts there, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to maximize your time and income so that you can get established here as soon as possible. In that process, always make sure, for example, if you say, okay, I'm available Mondays through Fridays, and this agency tells you, okay, we have a shift for you, we can book you on Tuesdays and Thursdays, meaning, so then that leaves you with Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When you get approached or offered by another home care agency, be transparent with them. Hey, I'm looking to work 40 hours a week. I've got 16 hours booked now at this home care agency, or home care agency. You don't have to say which home care agency if you're not comfortable, and that's okay. And I'm looking to get these days booked and this many hours booked. Be transparent. Home care agencies will understand that you are trying to make ends meet, and that's where you need to go, and that is okay. Communicate that freely, be transparent about it, so that the home care agencies that you're applying to and you're wanting to work in know where you're trying to go, or what you're trying to achieve or get to in this process. What can you do to be an exceptional home care aide? I would suggest, if you're coming here or you've just arrived here and you're looking to join the home care industry, a really big thing is to ask to be trained and ask to be oriented. And if you are trained and oriented and you're not feeling comfortable and you're not feeling confident, say so, so that you can be provided with more trainings. I can remember when I first moved here, I did not have any experience at all as a home care aide, as a caregiver. So I used to be trained a lot, and sometimes I found myself not confident even after my trainings. So then I would ask to be trained some more. I did make the mistake of trying, maybe I can do it, maybe I can figure it out. But I was not confident, and I did not like that feeling. I wanted to be able to be confident in what I was doing, to be able to provide quality care for the person that I was taking care of. And it really came down to the trainings. So if you're wanting to be an exceptional home care aide, which I think we all do, if you join the industry and you like the work, you will want to be an exceptional caregiver, is to put a lot of time in your training. Look at resources, free resources. There's so much out there to be able to train yourself and educate yourself on areas that we provide care in the home care industry. I hope that you liked the information that we just shared on about the home care industry. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our official Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok page, or you can leave a comment on the comments section below. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much.